Castille Character Camp will be back in Cullman in just a few more days. We have TJ Franey to talk about it, Jeremiah Castille, and John Riley. TJ, let me start with you. How did the camp get started 9 years ago in Cullman?
Well, 9 years ago, Jeremiah came to visit Houston Thrillkill, who had a house fire. And during that conversation, we talked about having a football camp. And so the first year, there was a charge. I had a young man in my classroom who said, I can't afford that. My mama said we can't do that. And so we talked about it, and we wanted to make it free. So any kid, no matter what their home situation was, could attend. And so it's been free ever since, thanks to Mr. Riley, Cullman Savings Bank, and a lot of sponsorships throughout the community.
Jeremiah, tell us just what exactly happens at the character camp.
Well, we do just a normal football camp. If people are familiar with that, we do skills, individual skill positions. We do combine work, and we start with and we do running. We have a running camp also, is in that for our younger campers, and so regardless of what position a young man may play in high school, middle school, he's able to get work at that position, whether it be quarterback, running back, defensive back. So we work them in their own individual skills, then we'll work some as a team, and then we have something we call Bama Ball, where they get to play as a team, and also we do character corners, and that's where we take the time to talk about the importance of them developing character on a daily basis.
You have a few helpers coming
yes,
this year.
Yes, we do. We have
Who do you have coming to help out?
Well, we have a coaches list, and I can run down through it for you, Dennis. It's Darius Gilbert. He's a former Alabama player. Myself, Tim Castille, who's our son, Simeon Castille, Dalvin Tomlinson, who plays for the Crimson Tide right now, Jamie Mosley, who's a Crimson Tide player, Maurice Smith plays safety for the University of Alabama, Dennis Alexander, who's another former Crimson Tide player, Bill Searcy, who's a former Crimson Tide player, Joe Edwards, Charlie Jones, who plays safety at the university also, Willie Smith, and he is a three-time Olympic gold medalist from the other school, as they would say. Now, he went to Auburn, and Corin Kirby, who's an offensive lineman for University of Alabama currently.
And Willie Smith has had his own running camps in the past, so it's nice that you're hooked up with him and continuing with that too.
Yes, he's probably the best that I've seen at working with young people and getting them to, knowledge-wise, and just able to get them to focus and concentrate on the task at hand.
Jeremiah, tell me why character is important to you in these camps.
Well, if you saw the news this week, you saw where we had 2 players arrested in Louisiana. They were a poor decision on their part. So what character does, I call it the foundation for life. Without character, then a person is good character, that is. It's either good or bad. And so what we really try to emphasize to our campers is developing good character, because your decisions that you make on a daily basis come from the character that you develop.
John Riley, you started as a parent being interested in the camp, and now Cullman Savings Bank is involved financially. Why the involvement with you?
Well, like you said, I started out going to the camp as a parent. I brought my young son there. I think they were a little bit short of volunteers that day, so I got a little bit more hands-on and was able to participate a little bit in the camp as just keeping time on some of the events. Jeremiah says it's a normal football camp, but I assure you it's not a normal football camp. The character part of it, the way they interact with the kids, I saw right off the bat that this was something special. And I was glad my son was a part of it. And I put on my Cullman Savings Bank Foundation hat and thought this is something that Cullman needs to keep going. And each year we've been involved, I assure you it is something special. Special things are happening on that field every year.
What did your son say about participating in the camp?
My son thought it was a great thing. Kids are all about the fun part of things. The character part of things is something that you get across to them without them even knowing it. He came out of it and he assures me he had a good time. He has a good time the few times he's gone. And you talk to him about the character side of things, and those lessons are finding their way in, whether they know it or not. So I thought that was a special thing too.
TJ, give us the details now. Where and when and how do the kids participate?
Well, I'm going to piggyback off him before I tell you that. Character is a big component of the school system as well. We want our kids to grow up to be the good character, to make the good decisions, so that they're good leaders in our community, they give back to the community, and they're just a good citizen. So having said that, we, June 10th and 11th, we'll both have a speed and agility for first grade through 12th grade. We will also have football camp for first grade through 12th grade. So pre-register, you can go online to info@castillefoundation.com, or you can contact the County Board of Education. And we have registration forms. If you pre-register, then you get a t-shirt. So if you pre-register, we can get a good head count of how many t-shirts we need. Lunch will be provided for those attending the football camp. Chick-fil-A is our sponsor on that. So it's just a good day. Parents come out, they bring their lawn chairs and sit out and kind of watch the camp. And then Saturday evening at St. John's Church, there's going to be a event that night. Caleb Castille, who starred in the movie Woodlawn, will be our guest speaker. The band One Exit will be performing, and then the coaches will be there to sign autographs and memorabilia.
Very good. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Jeremiah. As a parent and a grandparent, I thank you for what you're doing for the kids. Thank you, John, also for your participation. The Jeremiah Castille Character Camp, the 9th annual, coming up to Cullman.